Hare Krishna. Living the way our senses dictate is not living at all. When we do a particular thing, we want to achieve a particular purpose. Suppose someone is driving a car, but if that car doesn't move at all, if somehow that person doesn't move from one place to another despite that driving, then that is not driving actually. So, every particular activity is meant to lead to some purpose. Similarly, living is for a particular purpose. Living is meant, we want to experience the richness of life, the greatness of life, the sweetness of the ultimate source of life. The purpose of life is to expand our consciousness so that we can experience higher, better, deeper happiness. And ultimately we can connect with the highest, deepest and best reality, that is Krishna. We are souls on a journey of spiritual evolution that spans over many lifetimes. And in the human form of life, we have an opportunity to take a quantum leap in our spiritual evolution towards the supreme spiritual liberation, towards developing pure love for Krishna and being elevated to his eternal abode for a life of eternal, unending joy. Now, for this evolution to take place, we need to have our consciousness open to Krishna and to service of Krishna while functioning in this world. However, we have our senses which constantly drag us here, there and everywhere. And when the senses say, watch this, touch this, eat this, do this, if we simply keep doing whatever our senses telling us to do, then we get a myriad of flickering pleasures, but we don't go anywhere except getting more and more degraded. And eventually, say, an addict initially has freedom to experience life in so much variety. But as the person becomes addicted more and more and more, then say if that person is alcoholic, and they can experience life only in that bottle, in that drink. This is pleasurable, everything else is boring or frustrating. Everything else is meant to build to this. So, in this way, one actually becomes cut off from the richness of life, even in this world. What to speak of the richness of life in connection with the supreme reality, Krishna. That's why living without an understanding of the higher purpose of life, living simply for the senses, is not living at all. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 3.16, Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati hayah aghayurindriya ramo mogham partha sajivati. He says, Evam pravartitam chakram. And in this way, one who enjoys worldly pleasure, so just doesn't think about the higher purpose of life, Eva indriya ramo, one who lives for just gratifying the senses. What happens to that person? Aghayur, there's a lot of wrong activities, and mogham partha sajivati. At the end, one gets nothing. It's a flickering pleasure and a lot of frustration, lot of illusion, lot of tribulation as a consequence. And ultimately, there is a great deprivation of the opportunity to connect with Krishna, to experience supreme happiness. So once we, with our intellectual reflection, become convinced that living the way our senses dictate is not living at all, then we can become committed to living in the purposeful service of Krishna. And then we will be amazed at how much richness and sweetness our life becomes filled with in connection with Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.